you arrived today, you were searching for a word, and the word was mohair because we wanted to talk about painting.
Yes, absolutely.
And actually, that was something I saw on the We Will Fix It Instagram page. They were talking about shelves and little touch-ups and doing some of that DIY stuff around the house, and painting was one of them.
Painting is an interesting one because there's that general perception that anybody can paint.
Yeah.
And the reality is anybody can paint to varying levels of success.
It's like putting up wallpaper. Anyone can put up wallpaper, but you don't want anyone putting up wallpaper.
Yeah. I have seen walls where genuinely I think I could have thrown the can better. I mean, I've seen somewhere, I just... you stood there looking at it, and there was a job that we took on, and I'm really irritated that the team didn't spot it beforehand. But there was a job that we took on where there'd been successive paint jobs that were so bad.
Oh no!
That it didn't matter how our lines were perfect. I was really happy with the work that we did, but the problem was because it'd been painted in the same color 2 or 3 times previously, it looked terrible. And in the end, we spent another 3 days having to clean all this off because the customer was like, "Is this your standard?" I'm like, "Look, you can clearly see that these are different." "Oh, so you don't clean that off as standard?" Well, in all truth, our lines are our lines, and legacy issues are something totally different. Otherwise, I'd be trying to charge you for another 3 days, which is totally uneconomic. You would have never taken the job. But it should have been raised beforehand with the customer, which is why you went free of charge to do all this additional work, which meant we lost money on the job.
Well, and this is, I think, the number one point about doing painting, preparation.
Oh, goodness knows. Yes.
And the preparation, forget about the fact whether you're a lousy painter.
Yeah.
If you don't do the prep work as you're leading into it, you're doomed. And the prep work is huge.
Also, people don't estimate correctly how long it will take them to paint a room.
Yeah.
So your average bedroom in Dubai, we as professionals would paint that in 4 hours for a team of 2, which is 8 man-hours.
Man, that's
My guys are really efficient in the way they operate. So if you imagine yourself wanting to do that DIY, I don't think you would necessarily estimate a flat-out day for you to be able to do it. Well, that's what we do it in. We know what we're doing and have all the materials we possibly need to be able to do it. It's one full man day to be able to complete that.
Wow.
So for Joe Public, if they did it in a day and a half for an average bedroom, they're doing really well.
Yeah, you're looking at 2 days.
Yeah, I think 2 days is probably where you would be.
No one's expending 2 days on that job.
You wouldn't have thought so.
No.
Yeah, which is where it gets interesting. But then, equally, to understand the value of doing that is where it would get very difficult. So the difficulty with that is, so for us, the way that we'd measure it is our standard labour rate. 100 dirhams call out, 200 dirhams per hour. So that's 900 dirhams of labour.
Yeah.
Paint for a room, 2 gallons, you'd probably be looking at another 250 dirhams. So therefore, you're looking at, 1,100 to 1,200 to get the room painted into the colours that you want. However, the reality of that is most people go, this room, 1,200 dirhams, you're having a laugh. There's no way. Well, that's where the difficulty comes. So they then go, let's look at a cheaper option. Anyone know anyone who's painted before?
Yeah, who's used a painter? You see them all the time.
Oh, I've used so-and-so. He's fantastic. You get on the community groups, okay? When you actually research into that and you see how the advertising is working now, as you know, I run the Arabian Ranches group. So we have a complete ban on all commercial posts. Okay, I do not advertise We Will Fix It on there either. I'm a resident, and this is a residents group, which I keep stressing to people. Oh, no, it's only me. I'm a new business. Well, no. We have a complete blanket policy. What? Not even for me as a resident? No, not even for you or for me as a resident either. But this is what is happening now on the majority of the residents groups here, where you don't have people like our team who are absolute rottweilers for rooting out dodgy members, it is very, very easy for people to post a recommendation about their own company. It's very, very easy to get to build fraudulent profiles, and you can buy them for a couple of dollars each for a fraudulent profile that has all of the backstory that you need to look legitimate, unless you look really carefully.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, It's widely available. So it's something where these days, unless you physically know the person, you 100% trust the group as being managed correctly, don't trust a recommendation. It's just rubbish.